Okay. Now, okay, sorry about that. I posted that I said I was going to stream at 1, but it is currently 1:02, so I'm only 1 minute late. Um, oh shit. So I have these like text things happening. I thought it'd be cool and quirky to have up. So I am gonna try to play chess and RuneScape at the same time. I don't know how well it's gonna go. I'm gonna be honest. Um, Also, I apologize about the audio. I was kind of listening back on the stream that I did yesterday, and it did not sound very good. So I plugged it into my Mac uh, external microphone. I don't know. I want to get a new microphone pretty soon, or at least a new headset that has a pretty decent microphone. Um, I just don't have any money to really spend right now. And this is kind of like a hobby, so I'm just using what I have. Um, but yeah, we're gonna try to play some chess. I have my RuneScape username and my chess username, so you're welcome to do what you please with those. Please, I don't know, ask me to play. I feel like that could be kind of chill. like, uh, you know, I I'm pretty new at this, and I'm just doing it for fun. So we're gonna play some chess. Or no, we're not gonna play some chess. So I put like my camera on the other side, this side. So it'd be easier for me to fit everything on the screen and stuff, and make it look like I'm looking at the stuff on the screen, you know. Also, I put up some pillows. And also, you may see my cat, Hilo. He's kind of messing around in my room. Alright, let's play some freaking Runescape. I hope everybody's doing well for watching this. It is kind of a shitty day right now, so that's why I'm streaming. I would love to have some like YouTube playing as well. Dude, I have a fucking squirrel brain. That is what's happening. I wonder, oops, I don't want to do that. I want to see how I could try to like fit everything on the screen. I feel like that would be so funny. Maybe if I move my camera to the bottom like this. I hope it works. I hope everything's working. I hope everybody's able to see whatever is happening. Yeah, so maybe we could do this, and then we could watch some like YouTube. Put that over here. Holy shit, dude! Fucking squirrel brain stream. I've been watching a lot of EMS. We should watch this documentary. I was kind of like watching this one. This would be kind of chill. I hope like the chest.
Bleeding in the large intestine.
Anyways, thanks to Petal Palmer. I highly recommend her channel. Oh shit, you can't really see any of that stuff. I may have to like get rid of this because I don't think anyone actually cares. Yes, that's embarrassing. There we go. Yeah, so Petal Palmer, if you guys haven't seen any of her videos, highly recommend. They're really interesting. I'm not really into medical stuff, but she does like medical mysteries and medical complications, and it's just opened my eyes up to the fucking bullshitness of the privatized medical industrial complex that is in America. See, here's Hilo. Here's Hilo. He's on my screen. Hi. Oh, I miss him. Hi. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Hilo. Ow, fuck. Okay. Let's, I'm trying to remember what I was doing in RuneScape last night. I was just kind of like playing, let's see. What the fuck was I doing? I know I was doing like some quests. Let's see. Quest helper. Oh, I was doing this. Goblin diplomacy. I need to get blue dye. Oh yeah, because I got the leaves. And I need to go back to like the dye trader to do that. So, solve puzzle. Let's just do the daily puzzles. Let's just do, oops. Where is the dye trader? Fuck. Okay, well, it's not gonna fucking come up. Gee, thanks. Here. Like, dude, where the fuck is it? Oh, fuck. Dude, where the fuck is this hoe? It is hoe back again. Alright, so now we know what's kind of happening. But anyways, so background about this video I was watching by Petal Palmer. She was kind of talking about how this indigenous woman fell suit to systemic racism. See, like, that shit is real, and I hate when people fucking do that bullshit, but it's just like, it's like bullshit. It's crazy. Like, this indigenous woman didn't get the right healthcare in fucking Canada just because of, like, her race, who she is. It's just stupid. And it's just frustrating. Like, I don't mean to get political. I feel like I'm not even that liberal either. It's just common sense. Just treat people how you would want to be treated. It's really that simple, regardless of what they look like. Wow, I'm so wise. Alright, let's see. What is this? White to move?
He said, hey, I think we should do a colonoscopy tomorrow just to make sure everything's all good. And so they had Joy stop an anticoagulant she was doing. They adjusted her dose of pain medications. They gave her a bowel preparation, and they made sure to monitor her throughout this time. The next day, on Sunday, September 27th, the gastroenterologist came to see Joyce again, and when they entered her room and began talking to her, she allegedly was showing signs of agitation. They mentioned that this could have possibly been due to her going through withdrawal from narcotics and cannabis, but they didn't find any real use of these substances, so they couldn't confirm that might have been the cause of Joyce's symptoms. Joyce
that guy's
morphine for
getting
similar
his
pain that
magic,
she had
his
in August
magic
2019.
XP.
And during this current stay, the team did give her morphine, but they also gave her acetaminophen, Maxarin, and Ativan. As all of these combined together were hoped to help reduce her pain and nausea and just any symptoms that could have been associated with withdrawal, since that's what they were thinking was causing this. So they actually ended up scheduling the colonoscopy for the next day, and because they now thought that these symptoms might have had something to do with a disorder related to drug use or withdrawal, they ended up contacting a local rehabilitation center called the Joliet Addiction Rehabilitation Center, and they requested if they could have a consultation for Joyce. But after this evaluation, they determined that none of Joyce's symptoms were related to withdrawal. And even though they didn't have a clear diagnosis for Joyce yet, the nursing staff were still viewing and referring to her as a patient of withdrawal during this time. Something a bit odd was that on this Sunday afternoon, the person who was mainly overseeing Joyce's care wasn't a nurse, but was instead a person called a candidate for the practice of nursing, or a
Holy
CPN.
fuck,
This
dude. Like,
CPN was very new. She wasn't a certified nurse yet, and she only had less than 4 months of experience. Throughout the day, Joyce was still feeling very bad and was complaining that she was in a lot of pain. So, because of this, later that day at around 8 p.m., the gastroenterologist came back to see Joyce since she was expressing how much pain she was in, and apparently because the staff members were describing her as being very agitated. In fact, the agitation was so bad, they ended up having to restrain Joyce. They actually placed restraints on her. They put a restraint on both of her wrists, her ankles, and one on her waist called a lap belt. So a total of 5 restraints
the
were on
fuck?
Joyce. And the doctor was like, hey, like, we just need to make sure we monitor her very closely for the time being. After about 2 hours had passed by at around 10 p.m., Joyce was finally much calmer and they ended up taking the restraints off her. And fortunately, it seemed that overnight she did still remain relatively calm. However, Joyce was actually the furthest from calm that morning. She was, in fact, very anxious. So much so, in the early hours of that day, she ended up calling her sister in law, Jemima Dubé, begging if she could come to the hospital and pick her up because she was feeling very
Fuck.
scared. Which isn't a shock at all because this was also the day where
Okay, so we have to get orange dye. We have to go back to the dude with leaves. This is made from red yellow dye. Bring it. So 2 onions. Okay, where did we even get red berries? The fuck? The hell? Runescape wiki. We need like a button that says, "Alright, time to fucking red berries." Red berry acquired level. Bro, I need some coffee. I haven't had coffee all day today, and I'm like, hippie, 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 hippie. Let's just go buy some fucking red berries, dude. Like, seriously. Where the fuck do I even get red berries from? See, I feel like I just get so frustrated in this game. It's just too much bullshit, bro. Like, I like playing RuneScape. It's just like, I don't know. It's just too much sometimes.
everything went wrong. Because it was only 2 hours later when Joyce's symptoms got much worse, and this case took a very tragic turn. Sometime during the morning, Joyce ended up speaking with Dr. Jasmine Tran, who was a family medicine physician
Who's
working
this
in the
man?
emergency department that day and
Grandpa
was overseeing
Gambit.
Joyce's care. Joyce had asked Dr. Tran if
Me
it
as
would be
fuck.
possible that she could get discharged sometime later that day. And this was described as a cordial conversation, and Joyce seemed fine because Dr. Tran agreed that she could be discharged later that day. At around 7:40 a.m., she was even talking to another patient who was on a nearby bed. They ended up talking for quite a while, and Joyce even allowed this patient to use her phone to contact her son's school. At around 9:53 a.m., Joyce was again showing signs of agitation and showing signs of general discomfort. She was in a lot of pain and she was not feeling good. So the staff gave her 1 milligram of Ativan to hopefully calm things down a little bit. But this didn't seem to work because she was still not feeling well. 20 minutes later, at about 10:10 a.m., Joyce was shifting around trying to mitigate the pain, and she actually ended up falling off of her bed, which some of the nursing staff initially described as intentional. There's a staff member that works at the hospital, and they're called an orderly. And an orderly is somebody who doesn't have medical experience, but they help around with the nursing staff, they help the doctors, they just make sure, rooms are clean, things are stocked up, and just that the whole room is maintained and stays proper. An orderly who just got off her break saw Joyce around this time and described that she was kneeling on her bed, banging her head against the wall and screaming.
What the
So
fuck?
she
That's
tried
crazy.
calming Joyce down and was trying to get eye contact from her, but nothing was working. So because of this, the staff contacted Dr. Tran, and Dr. Tran prescribed a 5 milligram dose of a medication called haloperidol, or Haldol, which is an antipsychotic often used to treat various disorders such as psychosis or schizophrenia. She wanted to use this to see if it could help Joyce calm down. And so they ended up moving her from her initial bed to a private room to separate her
Oh
from
shit,
other
spider.
patients since there was a lot of commotion going on. At around 10:25 a.m., they administered the intramuscular dose of Haldol, and Dr. Tran said, "Look, if this doesn't work, we're going to have to use the physical restraints again." Now, just a few minutes later, sometime between 10:35 to 10:45 a.m., Joyce must have been feeling very concerned because it was at this point Joyce opened up her phone and went to Facebook to start a live stream, which she ended up recording for a total of 7 minutes and 12 seconds. It's honestly so good that she did, because this case would have probably been presented much differently without this information had she not recorded this. Despite it being just 7 minutes and 12 seconds, this recording showed the reality of what Joyce must have been going through during her stay at this hospital. From my understanding, this video has been removed from online, and I've only seen clips from news sources. Plus, it was in Canadian French, so I wouldn't be able to understand it anyway. But from Coroner Jahane Kamel's report, it described that Joyce was filming herself, which you could also see from the clips that are still out. In the video, Joyce was screaming and moaning in pain, and at some point she was moving around so much she ended up falling off of her bed. After she fell, the staff members picked her back up, placed her on the bed, and they re-administered the IV that she had, and they placed her in a 4-limb restraint and put the lap belt on her. With all of this
I gotta
movement
find the
and being
onions.
restrained, at some
Where are
point,
the
Joyce wasn't
onions?
filming herself, but her phone was down and was still recording. During this video was when a very concerning conversation took place between two staff members. And this conversation was between a nurse named Paul Rilke and an orderly named Miriam LeBlanc. The coroner's report provided a translation from the Quebec Police Force, and in the English version of this report, some things look to be translated a bit strange, but for the most part, you'd get the gist of what it's saying. In the beginning of the video, Joyce was speaking Atikamekw to those who were viewing it on live, and she said to them, quote, "It hurts me. Carol, come see me. They are overdosing me with drugs. Make it quick." A little over halfway into the recording, at 3 minutes and 59 seconds, Joyce must have fell off her bed at this point because the nurse said, "We're going to leave her on the ground for a bit, eh?" And then at 4 minutes and 21 seconds, the nurse said, "We'll look after you. I think you're having a hard time taking care of yourself right now, but we'll do it for you, okay?" Now, she also said something like, "Ask tea of a thick tarbanoche." I looked up what tarbanoche was, and it means fudge, so it's often used when people say something is blank as fudge. So I believe this meant they were calling her thick as fudge, but I could be wrong. Following this, referring to Joyce, the nurse said, this is better off dead. At 5 minutes and 25 seconds, Joyce started moaning very loudly, to which the nurse replied, "Are you done messing around? Are you done with that? Piss off." Joyce then said, "If you were in my shoes right now." And the nurse replied, "Hey, you're thick in the head." Then Joyce said, "I don't like it when people tell me I'm being silly about it." To which the orderly responded, "Well, you made some bad choices, baby. What would your children think seeing you like this?"
Oh my
To which
god.
Joyce replied, "That's why I came yesterday." And the nurse responded, "She's good at sleeping around more than anything else." Later saying, "Especially since it's us who pay for it."
Hello, I'm Patrick Stewart. Did you know that right now
At some point, the nurse called Joyce stupid as hell and asked her, "Are you done acting stupid? Are you done?" At 6 minutes and 9 seconds, Joyce moaned very loudly in pain. And shortly after, the nurse realized that they were being recorded and said, "Her damn phone is there." And she picked up the phone to try deleting the video, which was to no luck because it was already saved as a live stream and people saw it. And some of these viewers
That's
included
crazy.
her brother, Stefan Eshekwan. As soon as he saw this, he immediately started searching around for a ride because he needed to get to the hospital to see his sister. Not too shortly after the video ended, they ordered for Joyce to be closely monitored because she was in the restraints, and they wanted this monitoring to be done by the CPN. However, this was the first time the CPN ever dealt with a patient in restraints. So she went up to the doctor and asked her, like, "Hey, like, I've never done this before. Is it okay if somebody else watches Joyce just to be safe?" And the doctor told her, like, "Yeah, that's fine." So the CPN went to the assistant head nurse and told her, "Hey, like, I need some help watching Joyce. I have a lot of other patients." And the assistant head nurse just told her to go find an orderly herself to do that. And if not, to just figure it out. So the CPN was looking around for an orderly to monitor Joyce. But not only were a lot of staff members on their lunch break, but the hospital was also just really busy at this time. So she couldn't find anybody to closely monitor Joyce at all. And on top of this, she had several other patients who she was responsible for looking over, and many of them required close surveillance as well. It was said that she had 9 patients that she was monitoring that day, and several of them required close monitoring. So she definitely had a lot of patients that she was watching, especially for somebody who wasn't a registered full nurse at that time. So the CPN was left to just periodically pass by looking through the room's window to check on Joyce. But with being unable to find someone to closely monitor her, a whole 40 minutes went by with Joyce alone in her room in restraints, and her condition grew very bad. Around this time, Joyce's eldest daughter, 20-year-old Mary Bassiana, arrived at the hospital and she headed towards her room. But when she got inside, she quickly began to cry because all she saw was her mother in the 5 restraints and her eyes looked blank as if she was dead. About the same time, at around 11:35 a.m., a gastroenterologist resident came inside Joyce's room because, like I mentioned earlier, Joyce had expressed her desire to go home before the colonoscopy they had scheduled. So the resident came to her room this morning to get a form signed refusing the procedure. But with the state Joyce was in at that very moment, the resident obviously said, "Okay, she can't sign the form right now. Maybe I should come back later." So the resident began getting ready to leave the room. But before they could leave, Joyce's daughter stopped them because she wanted to know more. She wanted to find out what was going on with her mom. Why does she look like this? So she asked the resident, like, "Hey, like, what's going on? Is everything okay?" But when the resident replied, all they said was, "I'm not the attending, so my assessment is cursory." Essentially just saying, like, "I'm just the resident. I can't say what's wrong. That's the attendant's job. I don't know." And the resident quickly scurried out of the room. It was at this moment Joyce's daughter immediately started filming a live stream.
I don't want wheat. I want onion. Where the fuck do I get onions? I know I have to go to the fucking...
And she was unresponsive. In just 1 minute,
where the fuck is the witch, bro?
The CPN quickly rushed into Joyce's room because when the
Goddamn! Dude, why is everything so fucking far away? Well, because I'm not a member and I have to walk everywhere. So, sorry guys. My playthrough's gonna be mad and worrying unless you give me money so we can teleport. But I don't even think I have donations. I don't even know how to set that stuff up. Regardless of that, I don't think I even can. Look at all these ducks. Duckies. Gilbert. Whoa, this guy has rainbow hair. Oh, he's got a... Can I talk to him? What is this? Can I have a flower crown? Yo, who is this guy? Hello, Gilbert. Can I have a flower crown? Yo, why is this kind of chill though? I got that drip. Yo, drip or drown. So chill. See, I'm studying economics in college right now, and I don't think so. My degree is going to be a BSBA, and well, I am earning towards my BSBA, but I don't have to really take a science class. I have to take a science credit, but I have the choice of doing a computer science or taking bio or chem, and I'm like, fuck bio or chem, I can't do that. So I'm taking computer science, and I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's gonna be sick. Dude, this is not even... Where's the freaking onions, bro? Oh, that's not even it. That's not... Yeah. I was gonna say, like, holy fuck, where are we gonna find these damn onions? Woo. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to yawn that much. I'm just feeling kind of sleepy today. Ah, fuck. What? Dude, that's so crazy. What's your Blitz rating? Oh shit, sorry. I didn't I hope you're still in the chat. Hi. What is my Blitz rating? Oh shit, I did not mean to do that. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Hold on. We're gonna figure this out. My screen just froze and I don't know why. We're gonna do this. Hold on. Hold on. Wait 5 seconds. Alright. Fuck, dude. I'm so tarded. Let's see. What is my Blitz rating? Sorry, I'm just playing with the bot because I have a squirrel brain. I think my Blitz is like, let's go to my profile. Oh shit, hopefully it doesn't fucking dox me. Fuck. Profile? Stats. Stats. Daily Blitz. There we go. Found it. Got it. Alright, let's bring my face back. Fuck. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so this is my Blitz rating. 654. I hope that answered your question. If you are wanting to play, you can play with me now. But I will be kind of slow, low-key, because I'm also playing Runescape. Cool. Yeah. I've been playing chess for about 3 years. I started like a chess club at my high school. So, but I'm not even, I don't even play that much anymore, which kind of sucks. But I do want to get back into chess again. Look at this HBS. I would like to get back into chess again, but I've just been wicked busy. But now I'm not busy, so I get to stream and play more chess. So thank you for joining. Let's see. Let's just go back to playing the bot. Right now I'm just trying to complete this quest, and I finally found the freaking onions, and now we're going to the dye trader because I need to dye these goblin mail to solve the the goblin wars. I was gonna make a Israeli Palestine joke, but I'm not that clever, unfortunately. Oh shit, am I going the wrong way? I think I am going the wrong way. Fuck. Where am I going? I'm going this way. This way? Dude, I fucking suck at directions now. I'm going the right way. Dude, like, fucking RuneScape can be kind of complicated.
Why they were labeling her as narcotics dependent. They had no clinical diagnosis, no physical proof, nothing.
Also, I think it says that's my Blitz rating right here. I didn't have to do all that. See, I would love to get really good at streaming, like friends over at the Palace do. Shout out to Eric and Nick Hayden and Charles Carroll. I was on the Palace. You can see the highlights in my YouTube channel. But yeah, they're pretty good. I told them like I want to get into streaming. Well, I told Nick specifically because he handles all of that, and I think that's pretty dope. And I wish I could be good at it, but one day maybe. Maybe. Do you watch The Palace or I guess like $1 Million Extreme? I guess that's what I'm better known for. My gracious talents. Oh, fuck these doors, bro. Goddamn. Oh god. See, like I thought this was a great idea last night, but I might have to pop a Zen for this. I love to Zen. I feel like such a dude when I Zen, but it's just like, goddamn! Scratches an itch that I have. Okay, I need a bread dye. Dude, what? Okay, make me some red dye. You don't have enough berries? 3! Ah! I didn't see 3! Oh my gosh. I have to go back to the Grand Exchange and buy... Damn it, see? It's fine. Let's just make... God damn it. Stupid. Fuck. See, where is like a closer place to get red berries from? That's the thing. Because I think I need like a specific skill. Farming, maybe? God damn it, dude. Sorry. I'm so pissed right now. Because like the Grand Exchange is low-key so far away. Like, dude. See, where's the fucking wiki, bro? This wiki. Harvest from a redberry bush planted in bush patch. Alright. Dude, where the fuck is a bush patch? Sorry, like sometimes Runescape makes me rage. I'm Mr. Rage. Alright, this video is low-key kind of boring. I mean, this is so sad, but anyways, if you have any recommendations for YouTube videos you'd like to watch, let me know, because that'd be kind of sick. Dude, where the fuck is a fucking bush patch, my guy? I don't know. Gosh, this game, like, I do enjoy it, but sometimes it can be kind of like BS. Maybe I could just like message somebody. Where is bush patch? God damn it. I just don't even know what to look for. A freaking bush patch? Bro. Le bush patch. Flower patch? Dude, what? Ah! Maybe I'm not that much of a dork. If I'm fucking raging at not finding a bush patch. See, why the fuck am I going in here? Oh, those are NPCs. Oh, man. Disease with 100% fatality rate. Let's watch this.
You're sending out rewards and payouts, but it's a struggle to do it right. Multiple vendors, multiple countries, questions from recipients, tax forms, spreadsheets.
God damn it, I hate when this stuff happens. I'm like trying to... How do we get rid of this?
In the 1990s, a new disease struck the cattle herds.
Professional streamer.
Thousands were displaying odd behaviors, followed by death in all cases. This threat to the food chain was made even more catastrophic when it eventually became clear that the disease was transmissible to humans. What would become known as mad cow's disease led to the destruction of millions of livestock, widespread panic, and the deaths of hundreds from a new lethal disease, a disease with a 100% fatality rate and no known cure. In today's video, we will cover just what mad cow's disease actually is, how it spread to both animals and to humans, and how it was eventually brought under control. Mad cow's disease is more accurately called both...
I know about this. Mad cow's disease. I watched like a different documentary about that. I think that's pretty interesting. Ooh, let's watch, will I get in trouble if I watch Intervention? I hope not. Ooh, I was watching this one, but...
Doesn't sound like the two dealers were ever caught, if they even existed, that is, as they could have just been fabricated by Ronald in an attempt to lessen his sentence. I'm not sure if the footage was ever found. It at least doesn't appear to be online now. Maybe Ronald or the dealers were associated with Last Breath Studios and distributed the film through the company, but that's just speculation, as there's not much in the way of solid evidence for its existence.
Oh shit, why is my fucking computer was about to die and I didn't even notice? That would have sucked.
Their victims, male and female, ranged from 10 to 17 years old, and 4 of them were buried in Saddleworth Moor. Both were convicted of their crimes, and Brady was Britain's longest serving prisoner. He owned 2 locked briefcases, which his lawyer is still in possession of to this day, and it was speculated that they might contain important information, such as the location of Keith Bennett, one of their victims' bodies. Following his death in 2017, police requested a court order to access the briefcases, but this was denied because Brady had died, as had Hindley years earlier, so nothing could be found that would lead to a prosecution. The police and Keith's brother wrote to the lawyer multiple times asking for the documents to be publicised, to which request was denied. There's actually a decent chance that some of the information in the briefcases will soon be made public, thanks to a new bill which will allow police to obtain information regarding the location of human remains where the suspect is deceased. And even more disturbing piece of lost media is the audio that he and Myra Hindley recorded during
you know what I really want to finish? Did I finish?
In 1964, she was kidnapped by the pair from a
I don't think I finished this video. This video I actually won't watch.
they didn't think much of it.
Shout
because a
out to
lot of
this guy,
teenagers get pissed at the drop of a
Michael
needle.
Strawn. Very
Sue
chill.
Klebold noticed Dylan would have a strange look or tone of voice, as if he were, quote, laughing at some inside joke whenever he was annoyed with her. She found it very disrespectful. Dylan was also becoming more and more withdrawn, another common thing with teenagers, but also a common sign of depression. On January 11th, 1999, Sue Klebold wrote in her journal, "This long, hard day is over. Tom's surgery was today." Tom Klebold, Dylan's father, was suffering from rheumatoid arthritis. "After sitting and waiting for 13 hours, I just needed to get home. Good thing I did, because Dylan hasn't exactly risen to a level of
That was not
responsibility in
right.
my
Fuck!
absence. He overslept and missed
Fuck!
class and was sleeping when I got home. Nothing taken care of that I needed him to do, like take care of the cats. What
You're
have I
retarded as fuck. OD.
The next day she wrote, "Dylan has been so reclusive. We've hardly seen him and attempts to engage
See,
him
if I just focus... Should I pop his in? Should I pop his in?
It was weird, end quote.
Dude, I just wish I had more, like, elite... Can I say that? I don't know if I can. I might get... I'm not even monetized.
But they figured it was probably due to him having a very tight schedule,
But,
and it could easily have been
like, I have this random cart that I found. It's pretty empty. Like, I think if I try to inhale it, I'm gonna be inhaling metal. LMAO!
He'd also hang out till
LMAO!
1 in the morning, playing Doom or Quake or Diablo with his friend Zach Heckler or with Eric on the computer.
Dude.
So, it's easy to see why he might have been on the blink sometimes during the day. Klebold was very close-mouthed with his parents when they occasionally tried to touch base with him and ask him how he was doing. He'd always say something along the lines of, "I'm fine, just tired," or
Me.
"I have a lot of homework to do," and he'd leave. He made attempts to cure his depression on his own by drinking alcohol and
Me.
taking St. John's wort, a natural over-the-counter medication that is typically used as an anxiety reliever and mild antidepressant. He had quite a lot of St. John's wort, 2 bottles in his bedroom and 1 in his car. When a friend inquired what it was for, Dylan said, "To improve my motivation."
Lol.
Some
Real.
interesting symptoms of
Bro,
depression,
he would have
especially
loved
manifest in
college.
are risky or careless behavior, and physical symptoms like headaches or unintended weight loss. Klebold did the triple whammy. Not long after he turned 16, he awoke in the middle of the night with stomach pains so severe that his parents rushed him to the emergency room, thinking he had appendicitis. Doctors ran a bunch of tests on him and were surprised to find nothing wrong. When they sent him home, Dylan seemed to make a full recovery. 2 days later, he was arrested for breaking into an abandoned van in the middle of the night with Eric. Finally, during the months
The
before the
fuck?
massacre, he lost somewhere between 15 to 40 pounds. At his death, he weighed 143 pounds, which would put him as slightly underweight for his height. It's kind of hard to tell because Klebold was always lank, but you can see he looks a bit gaunt in his prom photos. Man, what planning to blow up your school can do to a guy. Klebold having some form of depressive disorder is generally not disputed, but is usually presented as comorbid with another condition. Peter Langman, who specializes in the psychology of school shooters, characterized Klebold as psychotic. He suggests that Klebold may have had AVPD, avoidant personality disorder, which leads to heightened social anxiety, feelings of inadequacy and
I
inferiority,
posted on my
extreme
Instagram
sensitivity to rejection,
that I'd
perceived
be
rejection.
streaming.
Dylan's perception of being bad
And
at socializing, even if it wasn't a reality-based belief, in turn led to him having severe depression. He then retreated into a world of fantasies and delusion to cope with his increasing loneliness, anxiety, and depression, eventually developing schizotypal traits. Langman
Depression's
writes,
got
"A
a
good
hold of
way
me.
to understand
Depression.
schizotypal personality disorder is to think of it
I
as
wanna break
combining
free."
extreme social inadequacy with problems in thinking. Socially,
Who likes
schizotypal
Black
persons are
Flag?
anxious and uncomfortable. They
I
can
saw Black
interact with
Flag
others, feel deeply insecure,
before the
and have
pandemic,
chronic
and that
fears
was
of
okay.
rejection,
It just
often
it kind of felt like somebody let out the
paranoid.
retirement home to go
Schizotypals
fuck around
desire
with the
friendship,
guitars.
intimacy, but lack the ability
Oh
to
shit, we got a
form multiple
PK
satisfying
player.
relationships. This is similar to avoidant personality disorder, but in a more severe form. Associate Professor of Psychology Aubrey Immelman came to a similar conclusion when studying Klebold, characterizing him as the conflicted avoidant with schizotypal traits. If you want to play the Diagnose Klebold game, pay close attention to the psychological profile, then decide for yourself how closely Klebold aligns with it. Psychologist Thomas Millen describes the conflicted avoidant in Disorders of Personality, DMS-4, and beyond. The conflicted avoidant includes features of the negativistic personality, formerly called the passive-aggressive personality. All avoidants are caught in a conflict between desiring and fearing the closeness of intimacy. Likewise, negativists are basically ambivalent about themselves and others, sometimes idealizing their close friends and companions, and sometimes, if their sense of autonomy is threatened, seeking to undermine or humiliate them. Conflicted avoidance combine the basic withdrawal of the avoidant pattern with the negativist's tendency towards interpersonal guerrilla warfare. When not in social isolation, they are often experienced as petulant and sulking. They may sometimes attack others
See
for
if I
failing to
can. There we
recognize
go.
their needs for affection, but then accuse whoever offers nurturance as seeking to compromise their independence. Relating to such individuals is very much a lose-lose situation. Disposed to anticipate disappointments and fearful of facing others openly, they may strike out indirectly by obstructing their actions and perverting their wishes. They often report feeling misunderstood, unappreciated, and demeaned, and they display their moods more erratically than does the basic avoidant pattern. During periods when stresses are minimal, they may deny past resentments and attempt to portray an image of general contentment. Under slight pressures, however, their pacific surface easily gives way to impulsive hostility. Unable to orient emotions and thoughts logically, they may at times become lost in personal irrelevancies and autistic asides, further alienating them from others.
Me.
Based on anecdotal evidence of Klebold's behavior and the writings in his journal, the conflicted avoidant personality seems consistent. At worst, these types can be moody, hostile, whiny, chronically unhappy, and perhaps most notably, passively compliant with resentment and opposition, a pattern he may notice appear again and again with Klebold. At best, these types can be agreeable and friendly, sensitive, and emotionally responsive. You'll notice anecdotes of this side of Klebold as well. There are accounts of him being a good listener, affectionate, thoughtful, and even comforting. Nearly all psychiatric professionals who have looked at Klebold's journal find him some degree of mentally disturbed, and sometimes, colloquially speaking, crazier than Eric. But Klebold is an enigmatic killer, in the words of Peter Langman. A good portion of Columbine theorizing, both from the psychologist's angle and from journalists and the media's angle, is trying to rationalize and explain how Dylan, who was widely reported as a passive, lazy...
Dude, this stream looks fucking wild.
to commit mass murder.
We're watching Columbine Iceberg while playing chess and RuneScape. Oh shit. Who's this guy? Weird. Why are people like this? This video is like 6 hours long, by the way. Like, goddamn. Goddamn, finally. Okay, I think we're gonna be able to finish this quest. Shit. I don't understand why the screen keeps freezing. It's kind of annoying. I wonder if there's a way that I could, like, refresh. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna try to look more into it because it just keeps happening and I'm not sure why. There we go. Okay.
On his first day back at school after the massacre, quote, he and other students were standing in class talking about Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, and the consensus was that Harris was the controller, Klebold was the follower. At that time, Brian Sargent, who was also in that class, interjected a comment. Yeah, Dylan was going to give himself up, and when Didel, or another member of his group, asked Sargent how he knew that, Sargent said, that was just a thought that some of us had. This is similar to a rumor that was related to me by another student as being very prevalent among the students at this time, in which Harris is rumored to have shot Klebold because Klebold didn't want to continue with the incident. So, while Dave Cullen is sometimes seen as the pioneer, or even the inventor, behind the Klebold was the follower theory, it seems to have been a prevailing opinion from the beginning, and the perception of Klebold being the more passive personality is supported by a lot of accounts. However, there are also some reports of Klebold showing more dominance. Jennifer Pavalainen describes an incident in January 1999 when her friend, Amanda Sim, clipped Klebold's BMW on the left rear fender while parking in the school's lot. Quote, Klebold got out and said not to worry because the car had been hit before. There was no damage to her friend's car. Harris then got out of the passenger side of Klebold's car and was angry. Klebold ordered Harris to get back in the car, which he did. Amanda Sim herself allegedly dropped by a forum in 2009 with a more detailed account. In January-February
Dude, this
99,
endgame
I was
sucks.
in the senior
I'm
lot.
usually
For what
not that
reason,
bad.
I
I'm
cannot
pretty quick when
remember.
it comes
I saw an
to
open parking space, and I was going to pull in, and
endgames.
a black car came out of nowhere, and I clipped the left side of the rear bumper. I got out of my car in tears, thinking, that's it, my mom is going to take away my car. I had just gotten my license 2 or 3 months prior to that. The driver of the car got out and told me, it's okay, the other side has been hit many times, you just evened it out. The passenger, however, was not as thrilled. It wasn't until I was watching the news when they were towing Dylan's car out of the lot that I knew who I hit. Other than that, I don't recall talking or even seeing the two. When asked to give further details, I was in tears and I kept apologizing over and over and over. I told him I had insurance and I could file a report. It was my fault, and that is when I was told it wasn't a big deal. The car had been hit so many times on the other side, I evened it out. I started to calm down. Then the passenger door opened, and Eric started yelling at me, something along the lines of, I was a stupid bitch. Why wasn't I paying attention to where I was
There we
going?
go.
I honestly
Finally.
don't remember all of it. I thought for sure he was gonna send his
I can play
girlfriend to
chess,
kick my ass
guys.
or something. Dylan told him to get back in the car, and they took off. I didn't see them again until the news. She adds that they were flying through the parking lot, and she was actually paying attention. The car just came out of nowhere. Then there's student Eric Jackson,
I think I'm
who
gonna
said he
get
was good
off
friends with Dylan through the
soon.
Trenchcoat Mafia. He said there was no real leader in the TCM, but Klebold was, quote, more dominant than Harris was. And while there are a lot of accounts of people being shocked that Klebold was part of the massacre, but not as surprised at Eric's involvement, Eric's old friends from Plattsburgh, New York, were equally stunned that Eric was a part of it.
1,600 miles away from Littleton, Colorado, in Plattsburgh, New York, they're grasping for clues and answers. Eric Harris played Little League and went to elementary school here while his father worked at the local Air Force Base. When news of the shooting broke, old friends here were stunned.
Because I took out my yearbook and I compared pictures, and sure enough, it was him, and I couldn't believe it. It was
Nora
amazing.
Bordeaux, Adam Pasty, and Kyle Ross spent several days on a whale-watching field trip with Harris where they took this picture of him. They use words like loving and friendly to describe Harris. No trace of violence. No hint of anger.
That's the picture that really, hits me the most, because in it, he looks like the happiest kid there. He's having the time of his life. He has his big grin ear to ear.
All the guys were kind of troublemakers, but he even seemed tentative to do things like that. He was pretty quiet, but...
So he was never even an instigator?
No, not at all.
When the Plattsburgh Air Force Base closed down in 1993, Harris and his family were forced to move away. He said goodbye in 6th grade yearbooks.
Adam, you've been a great friend. Have a great summer. I'll send you a shirt from Denver. I'm going to miss all of you.
Now, looking back, his friends worry that being uprooted as he headed into adolescence may have been harder on Harris than they
Oh, please.
Like something that he wouldn't have turned into if he stayed here.
The descriptions of Eric Harris as a friendly, loving boy make his spiral into violence and hatred all the more chilling. Where along the road from Plattsburgh to Littleton did such extreme changes take place? And why? Elizabeth Caledon, CBS News, Plattsburgh, New York.
There's a companion piece about Eric in the Denver Post, released the same day as the life and death of a follower, that calls him, quote, a boy with many sides. I think he was the greatest actor I've ever known because he never showed me anything, never deviated from the character I knew. A bright, smiling kid, says friend and fellow Columbine student Jennifer LaPlante, 18. Interviews with more than 24 close friends and classmates offer a chilling portrait of an outwardly normal but shy teenager who suddenly careened into a world of hate and violence. Harris is remembered in Plattsburgh as a normal 12-year-old, though so timid he struggled
There
to
we go.
communicate even on the ball
Finally,
field.
we're gonna finish
At
this
the plate,
quest. I
he
think after
rarely
I
swung
finish
at
this quest, I'm
pitches,
gonna get
preferring to
down. I've been
draw
streaming
walks,
for
the
about an
coach
hour
said.
now.
Eric was the shyest out of everybody, says Brendan Lapierre, a former teammate. Eric was kind of the total opposite of his brother. I don't really think he wanted to play baseball all that much. It was more of a parent thing. The article goes on to speculate that 17-year-old Chris Morris may have had a similar influence on Eric that Eric may have had on Dylan, since Eric supposedly imitated Chris's clothing style and musical tastes. Quote, Harris and Klebold began hanging out with the Trenchcoat Mafia in their junior year. One group member says she never sensed anything dangerous about the pair. Eric was like the little Christian kid out of all of us, just a good little kid at school, the girl says. But his association with the group seemed to coincide with troubling changes in Harris's behavior his junior year. In January 1998, he and Klebold were arrested for breaking into a van and stealing $400 worth of electronic equipment. Friends now call it a goof, barely more than a prank, and Harris was outwardly ashamed of the bust, those close to him say. He only talked of the incident in whispers. During his senior year, he seemed more depressed than ever to some. None of Harris's friends say they knew he'd been diagnosed with a mental illness. It could explain, however, why during his senior year, Harris seemed to fall deeper into dark infatuations with guns and racist views, other students say. 2 weekends ago, before all this started, he was talking about his future, co-worker Kristen Kawaiken recalls. I had quit Blackjack Pizza, and he was like, yeah, once I graduate, I think I'm gonna quit too, but not now. When I graduate, I'm going to get a job that's better for my future. Then there's the basement tapes. In various transcripts of the basement tapes, Klebold is often noted as being more aggressive and unrepentant, though in some transcripts he is said to have shown remorse. In one Denver Post report, quote, contrary to popular opinion in the Columbine community, Harris comes off in the videos as the more sympathetic character of the two. Portrayed in the days after the attack as angry and weird, he is apologetic and somewhat remorseful in the tapes. He's careful to absolve his parents of any blame
Here's
and show
me,
sympathy
here's my
to his
character.
mother, Kathy,
She
for
kinda
what
looks
he is
just
about
like
to
me.
do, trying not to bond with her because he will soon die. It's not their fault. They had no fucking clue, Harris says.
The
It
gold
would not
bar.
sell anything to arrest them. But Harris shows some anger towards his
That's
brother,
nice.
Wayne,
Alright,
a
well,
military man
let's go to the
who was
bank.
stationed across the country several times. Harris talks of always being the new, white, scrawny kid. I had to go through all that shit so many times, Harris says. Klebold is monstrous on the tapes, openly
Alright,
raging
well,
about his
I
lifelong
am gonna
hidden
get
anger
off.
and all the slights he
I
suffered
may
at the
just play
hands
one
of
more round of
students,
chess. I may
teachers,
just
and his
do
family. He smiles
I'm
ghoulishly
done
at
playing
lovingly handles
RuneScape
weapons
for
and
today.
constantly combs his fingers through his shoulder-length red hair. He shows no contrition, only deadly aggression. This goes to all my family. I'm sorry I have so much rage, Klebold says. You made me what I am. Actually, you just added to what I am. According to another report, Harris says, let's talk about our parents for a minute. Klebold begins coldly. It's my life, he says. They gave it to me. I can do with it what I want. If they don't like it, I'm sorry, but that's too bad. Harris is gentler. They might have made some mistakes that they weren't really aware of in their life with me, but they couldn't have helped it. Both boys say again and again that their parents are great. It sucks to do this to them, Harris says. They're going to go through hell once we're finished. They're never going to see the end of it. Klebold promises his parents there was nothing they could have done to stop what will happen. You can't understand what we feel. You can't understand no matter how much you think you can, he says.
When I
Harris
play
explains
chess,
why
I
he didn't
feel
spend
like
more
I'm a
time
very
with his
aggressive
family. I
player.
didn't want to do any more bonding with them. It will be a lot easier on them if I haven't been around as much. Klebold addresses all his relations. I'm sorry I have so much rage, he says. Harris speaks lovingly of his mother, then adds, I really am sorry about all of this, but war is war. Another report states, I hope we kill all 250 of you, says Klebold. If you could see the rage I've built up over the years. 3 videotapes prepared by Harris and Klebold in the months before the April 20th attack We're
Sorry,
found
I
at the
keep singing that
Harris's home
song.
soon after the carnage.
I love that
They are
song.
startling in their
I
matter-of-fact
listen to it after
recitation
this.
by the gunmen
If I
what
win.
they intended to do to those they believed had wronged them. Harris,
I'm
swigging
so
from a bottle
rich.
of Jack Daniels, unlovingly handling a sawed-off
I hope the
shotgun,
stream
he
was
named our little
okay.
thugs. I'm really sorry
I
about all
do
of
want to
this,
get
but
better.
war is
I want to
war.
be a little
At
bit
one
more
point, Harris begins to
entertaining.
list every girl
I
who
just don't know
declined to go
how
out with him.
to or
He
where to
muses
even
about
start.
dying and becoming a ghost, and the two guffaw about haunting the survivors of their shooting spree, making noises that will trigger flashbacks and, quote, drive them insane. Harris waves his journal and suggests to law enforcement officials that if they want to know what led him to plan a bloody rampage, they should simply read this. The pair dismiss what they anticipate will be comparisons to other school shootings, mocking with backwoods accents the camouflage-wearing boys who shot classmates in Kentucky. Do not think we're trying to copy anyone, Harris says. We thought of this before the first one ever happened. Harris and Klebold discuss the cults that might follow their example and seem gleeful about their impending fame. They debate whether Steven Spielberg or Quentin Tarantino will immortalize them on screen. Directors will be fighting over the story, Klebold remarks. A few weeks before the attack, the two perform an elaborate fashion show, modeling appropriate clothes, and donning bandoliers holding spare ammunition, bombs, knives, and guns. Both posture for the camera, mock shooting their guns at the lens, and then whooping after the kill. In the last snippet of tape, a 1-minute segment shot on the morning of their rampage, Harris and Klebold are dressed and ready for Our Little Judgment Day. Both teenagers are tense, and Klebold is seen pacing. He looks into the camera and bids his parents farewell, saying, "I didn't like life too much. Just know I'm going to a better place than here." Harris says tersely, "That's it. Gotta go. Goodbye." According to another Denver Post article on the tape, it was easy to fool their parents, the seniors said. It was even easier to fool school officials. I could convince them I'm going to climb Mount Everest, or that I have a twin brother growing out of my back, Harris said. I can make you believe anything. The videos portray Klebold as an equal partner in the massacre, and not as a patsy led by the dominant, charming Harris, as some students suggested in the days after the massacre. Klebold named the pipe bombs he used in the massacre after himself. Vodka Vengeance was written on them. The name stood for his favorite liquor, and the capital DK for his initials, Time reports.
Vodka.
Klebold also seems giddy, waiting for what the two called Judgment Day, when their death plot would unfold. Klebold said he expected the most nerve-wracking 15 minutes of my life after the bombs are set and we're waiting to charge through the school. Seconds will be like hours. I can't wait. I'll be shaking like a leaf. And it was Klebold who boasted that directors Tarantino and Spielberg would be vying for the duo's Doomsday script. Directors will be fighting over the story, Klebold said in one of the tapes. It appears their belief that Hollywood will begin a bidding war for their Doomsday script and secure their fame is the key reason why they wanted to be seen as originals. Harris seemed to fear that after school shootings in Oregon and Kentucky, he and Klebold would be seen as copycats. Do not think we're trying to copy anyone, Harris said, mocking the Kentucky shooters. Their plan was better, he said. Not like those fucks in Kentucky with camouflage and 22s. Those kids were only trying to be accepted by others. Harris also made the chilling statement that the duo would haunt the survivors as ghosts. We will, quote, create flashbacks from what we do and, quote, drive them insane, he said. This Denver Post article focuses on the tape which Harris filmed alone. The 17-minute section in which Harris talks about his diary is the only portion of tape on which Klebold does not appear. The section begins with a distorted camera view of Harris as he reclines against the headboard of his bed. He is holding the camera, zoomed in tight on his face, which is cut off below his upper lip. This is for Mom and Dad and for the cops or the people who somehow want to have them pay for what I did, he says, unblinking, in a monotone. His parents, Wayne and Kathy Harris, were the best, he says. There was nothing anyone could have done to prevent this, Harris says, and there is no one to blame except me and vodka. At times, he grows reflective. This is my last week here on Earth, he says. In recent weeks, he says, his parents have hounded him about things he has neglected. His application to the U.S. Marines, his car insurance, his checking account. But they don't know that none of that matters to him, he says. War is war, and this is war, Harris says. I've declared war on the human race. At one point, Harris notes, he has only 7 1/3 days left until it's over. He takes time to scold a half dozen girls who apparently wouldn't date him. He then seems to grow contemplative. "Oh God," he says, "this came up so quickly. It's pretty weird knowing that you're going to die." He talks about the work he still has to do in his and Klebold's two-man war against everyone else. Then he turns his attention to his journal. One of the first pages lists perhaps a dozen students from the class of 1998 that Harris says he would have liked to kill. "You're lucky you got out when you did," he says. He describes the single-spaced, handwritten pages as, quote, "the thought process, the evolution I've gone through for the past year." On the bottom of one page, Harris draws a swastika and a SS, a possible reference to Hitler's secret police. The last entry was made on April 3rd. And then there's this report, which amusingly refers to Dylan and Eric as Mr. Harris and Mr. Klebold. "They're going to be put through hell once we do this," one of the killers, Eric Harris, said of his parents in the last of the tapes he made with the other, Dylan Klebold. And, as if to lift from their parents any sense of guilt, remorse, or responsibility, Mr. Harris quietly quotes Shakespeare, "Good wombs have borne bad sons." The tapes were left by the killers at the Harris home to be recovered by the authorities after the assault. Taken together, they show two boys who have concluded that they can no longer cope with everyday life. "If you could see all the anger I've stored over the past 4 years," Mr. Klebold says, looking into the camera. More rage," Mr. Harris says. "I'm building it up." On the last part, the boys spend little more than a minute saying goodbye. "I just wanted to apologize to you guys," Mr. Harris says. "To everyone I love, I'm really sorry about all this." And Mr. Klebold adds, "Just know we're going to a better place." They acknowledge a pent-up desire to get paybacks against their enemies and say they expect their crime to kickstart a revolution. "Isn't it fun to get the respect that we're going to deserve?" says Mr. Harris, holding the sawed-off shotgun that he would use at Columbine. Particularly harrowing for the viewer is a 17-minute visit to Mr. Harris's cluttered bedroom, where he plays tour guide for Mr. Klebold, who is acting as cinematographer and interviewer. With exquisite precision and detail, Mr. Harris holds before the camera an arsenal of guns, bombs, and ammunition that he has concealed on shelves and boxes behind knickknacks. "Thank God my parents never searched my
Hello,
room,"
do you want
he
to play a
says
chess
to
game?
Mr.
Yeah, of
Klebold
course. Send me a
as
chess
they are leaving
game.
his room. He pretends his mother has just walked in. "Looks good,
Absolutely.
son," he says, as if mocking her. The tapes also show crucial differences.
I'm almost
between
done with
the two
this one. I'm
teenagers.
really close.
While they do not make clear that Mr. Harris was the schemer and Mr. Klebold merely a follower, as reports soon after the assault surmised, it does appear that Mr.
Here's
Harris
my
is the more
username. It's
dominant
fastball.
of the two. During most of their give and take, Mr. Harris introduces most
Yeah,
new thoughts,
absolutely.
and Mr. Klebold builds on them. It is also during these moments that Mr. Harris, far more than Mr. Klebold,
I think this
expresses
person. I'm
regret,
gonna try to time this
hauntingly
person
at
out,
times,
but
for what they feel they must do.
I
and how he
might
thinks
just end
it
up
will affect
like
his
resigning
family.
because
"My dad's great," Mr.
really
Harris
don't
says.
give that
"And my
much
mother,
of a fuck."
she's so thoughtful. She helps out in so many ways. I wish I was a sociopath, so I didn't have any remorse for this, but I do. They're going to go through hell for this. This is going to tear them apart." Whether Harris actually showed remorse on the tapes is something that has been interpreted various ways based on who is looking at it and from what point of view. Dwayne Fusilier, the FBI psychologist who gave Eric the diagnosis of budding psychopath, chose Eric's apology letter to the victim he stole from when he and Klebold got arrested as his primary motivation for the diagnosis. In the initial
Alright,
police
I will
report,
respond
Harris
to
claimed
your
to be
friend
hesitant to steal,
request
stole
in just
anyway,
one moment.
claimed in his apology
Simple
note to be sorry,
devotion.
led the
Thank you so
diversion
much
officer
for
into
wanting to
thinking
play
he,
with
quote,
me.
seemed
I'm almost done. I
remorseful,
have like
then wrote
I
in
think
his
this guy
journal
might
that actually he
resign
didn't give a
because
shit,
I
and
think
it was his right to
this
do
is
what he
like
did.
repetition
He
of me
states
like
that
winning
sorry
and
is
then
just
not
a
winning
word
and
that
then
doesn't
winning
mean shit
again.
to him. It was the
Just bugging
intensity of
him.
Harris's apologies in his note, especially when compared to the intensity of what he wrote in his journal.
Thank
that caught
you.
Fusilier's eye.
Absolutely.
It
Yeah,
was as if
I
Harris
I
enjoyed
wish I
putting on
had
a
like
show of
more of a
remorse,
squirrel
even though it
brain
wasn't genuine.
so I can play
Maybe
RuneScape.
Fusilier saw the
But I
same
did play
pattern in the
RuneScape for like
basement
an
tapes
hour,
and
and I think
decided
that's
to
like
read
pretty
Eric's
much my
apparent
limit.
remorse as ingenuine. Some think Harris was indeed being genuine and claim it's evidence that he wasn't a psychopath or a budding psychopath. Some think it was done to manipulate viewers into thinking just that, and claim it's in typical psychopathic pattern.
Yeah,
Since
I
the
think I'm gonna
basement
lose
tapes
this
aren't
game.
released, this isn't a see-it-for-yourself situation, though Harris's apology letter is easy to find online.
I was
We'll also
winning
be
for
going
like
over
a
it later in
split
the
second
iceberg.
too, which is kind of
Although
pissing
the
me off.
FBI's
But
theory, the psychopath and the depressive
shit
leader and
happens, I
follower
guess.
is the generally accepted one, since it's from the point of view of psychologists and investigators of the case, and is corroborated by some witness accounts, some evidence from the journals and other documents, and also since it was featured in the most famous book ever
Oops.
on Columbine.
it still has its critics.
For one, critics say
Make sure to follow me on
Klebold seems
Instagram and
independent from
subscribe
Harris
as
when
always.
discussing his
I'm gonna
plans of
try to
murder
go
or fantasies
live
of
or
revenge.
try
He never
to
mentions an
like
attack on the school
expand my
specifically, and the massacre
growth
was
of my
intended to
YouTube
be a
channel.
bombing rather than
I
a
want to
killing
make
spree, which aligns more closely.
let me pause this Columbine video. Like I would like to stream more often, but right now I'm able to stream as much as I would like because I am at home. But yeah. Yeah, I'm fucking this up. This is so embarrassing. I'm much better than this. I'm much better than this. Alright, I'm honestly just gonna resign from... But I'm so close. I feel like I can time this guy out. This is terrible. I feel bad, but honestly, I don't remember the last time I cared. TBH. Dun. This Columbine video is so chill. Yeah, it's like freaking 6 hours long, but it's like mad interesting. Interesting. Like this game. This game is very interesting. As I keep winning and losing. But yeah. Yeah, because this isn't my normal backdrop. I think if you watched my first stream, I was at my apartment, but now I'm in my teenage hood bedroom. Boom, baby! Boom! Hey! Resign! There we go. Okay. Now we can play with our good old buddy. Let's see. I know it's my turn for this. Yes. Let's challenge you. Oh shit, you challenged me. Well, thank you for being patient. Like, I was really hoping to time that guy out. God damn it. I hate when, like, chess.com does this. Can you try to send it again? Play a friend? Let me send you the game and then accept the game, because on my side, sometimes it kind of sucks. Oh, fuck, dude. Oh, look. Let's just play standard. Let's just play simple ass rules. Yay! Okay. All right. I'm excited. I think that we're gonna play one game and then I'm gonna get off because I've been on here for an hour and there's like nobody really watching, which kind of sucks. But you know, when you're starting out, I do want to get tips. Well, because like Nick Hayden, he has some. He's got some clout, you know, already. But I also have some clout too. I think just people don't know who I am quite yet, which is gonna take some time. I don't plan to be super famous. I least people know my name when they see me in World Peace. Like, oh, gee, that's 8-Ball or Frankie. Oh, fuck. Good deal, good deal. Oh dang, you're like significantly higher than I am. Well, I do want to play more often. I don't think I could be a chess tuber, but I want to, this is going to be really interesting or boring to talk about, just depending. I do want to get into game theory. Fuck! Love. GG, that's so fair. Oops. GG. Dude, finish me. Fucking finish me, brah. Fucking finish me. Checkmate my dumb ass. Odie! Come on, going for the kill. You gotta do this quick. You gotta do this in like two moves. I'm giving you 2 moves to checkmate my ass. Oh. Are you gonna do it? Question mark. Come on. There you go. Use your rooks. Or not your rooks, your knights. What am I talking about? See, XD. There we go. Getting some good laughs. I'll play you another time. I'm gonna get better. I want to get into game theory and breathe again. I used to be really good about studying chess. I wonder if I have any of my chess books here. LMAO. There we go. Thank you. Alright, thank you for watching. GG. Yeah, we'll play again. It's probably the first time since I played chess in a while, so. Alright, thank you for everybody who stayed and watched for an hour and 30 minutes. I want to try to live stream more often, as much as I can, but I would like to kind of set a schedule. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm going to try to stream as much as I can, so, because I am out of school for a month, and then have to go back to school. But yeah. Alright. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for watching. Follow my Instagram. Add me on chess.com. It's fastball. It's the monkey with the cigarette in his mouth. I love monkeys and I love well, I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, but alright. What are all these different awards? I do want to play more chess and stuff, so we'll get back into that. Alright, bye!